So we're coming into round 8, having our best round of the season so far. We almost bagged that perfect round. The only game that I guess let us down was the Manly-Melbourne game. I ain't even mad, to be honest, because it was pretty dope to see Turbo get back to his best. Now, am I smoking on that copium? 100%. Nah, but it was dope to see Turbo shift gears. So yeah, our main tips or main picks, 7 from 8, and OddSquad Bakery, well, business ain't booming. We got one try scorer from 8, and that was Mitch Moses saving us from the golden goose egg. But yeah, it is a new round, Anzac round, a lot of rumored changes to sides, especially the Roosters one. Let's go ahead and take geese and make some predictions, yeah? Alright, so game 1, we have an absolute banger to kick us off. The South Sydney Rabbitohs host the Penrith Panthers. Part 2. It's 5th playing second, and the last time these two teams met, the Panthers did get the better of them, 16 points to 10. This was at, Bluebet Stadium. For ins and outs, we know Keon, unfortunately, will be gone for several weeks, and coming in for Keon, they've got Michael Cheekham, pretty handy replacement, and they also got Isaac Duitabo Thompson coming back on the wing. As for the ref, Liam Martin re-aggravated his hammy, and he is out again. Coming in for Liam, let's see, Lindsay Smith. So pretty much their team from 2 rounds ago, they've got Scotty Sorensen starting, and yeah, Lindsay Smith to the bench. My pick for this game, it's truly a coin flip for me, with the fact that the Bunnies, you just never know. They do have the side to, I guess, topple the Panthers, but will they show up? You would think so in front of their home fans, eh? The Panthers coming off that Golden Point victory, Nathan Cleary kicking not one but two field goals, one to send them into OT and one for the dub. The safe pick would be to pick the Panthers, and I think I'm going to roll with the Panthers in this. I just can't trust the Bunnies. Like I said, the talent is there, they just aren't reliable, if we're being honest. It should be a dope game, but yeah, we'll go with the Panthers in this, and we'll go 1-12. Game 2 takes us all the way to Darwin, where the 12th placed Parramatta Eels play the current crown holders, the Brisbane Broncos. Now, ins and outs, I think for the most part, on Parramatta's side of the field, it's same. Actually, no, I'm lying. Josh Hodgson is back to start at 9, pushing Brendan Hands back to the bench. As for the Brisbane Broncos, nice, we have Corey Oates returning to the wing for Jesse Arthur's a straight up swap, and Tom Flegler. So this will pretty much be a full strength Brisbane team. Tom Flegler right back into the front row. As for my pick, the Eels, man, the Eels forward pack have been pretty gun. Regan Campbell-Gillard in particular. Junior Paulo eased his way back into the league after several weeks off, so you can expect a big game from him, and Sean Lane the same, just easing his way back in. I swear there's no bias, but I'm going to lean with the league leaders. I can't wait for these two forward packs to collide. Tom Flegler back, he'll be ripping into Regan Campbell-Gillard. Payne Haas is Payne Haas, the gold standard, and their back line has been, not going to say humming, but Reece Walsh, his speed and decision making has been the point of difference in all their previous clashes. But yeah, I'll be interested to see the battle between Clint Gutherson and Reece Walsh. And the halves, Mitchell Moses, his general play kicking has been the best it's ever looked. But yeah, again, my pick, I'm going to take the Broncos, and I'm going to go with 1-12. Game 3, we have the 15th placed Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs taking on the Cronulla Sharks, who are currently in 6th. In terms of ins and outs, it's an unchanged lineup for Cronulla. Jacob Kiraz, how sad to see one of their cult heroes go down. They got Declan Casey coming in for him. Bro, where is Jarrell Skelton? I can't believe he hasn't gotten a run. Declan Casey's not a bad fill-in though. They also got Braden Burns on the other wing. Jaden Rockenball returns to the bench to play in the back row, I'm assuming. My pick for this, I'm going to go with Cronulla. They are pulsating at the moment. Their forward pack have got them rolling, and Blake Brayley has been a nice facilitator. Not to mention Nico Hines on the back of all of that. He's having a bloody impressive season, so much so that the masses are calling for him to play Origin. I mean, it was like that for him last year as well. It's kind of undeniable this year. I'd honestly be shocked if he doesn't get a spot. But yeah, my pick for this, again, I'm taking Cronulla, and I'm going to go 13+. The second and final game for a not-so-super Saturday will be the North Queensland Cowboys hosting the Newcastle Knights. This is 16th. Isn't that crazy? Cowboys at 16th. The Knights currently at 11th. Looking at ins and outs, we all saw in the review that Jason Taumololo will be gone for up to 8 weeks. And coming in for Jace, we have Ruben Cotter sliding into the 13. Their bench consists of Tom Chester, Jake Granville, Jermaine Taunor-Brown, and Mitchell Dunn. Riley Price at 18th man. As for the Newcastle Knights, Brody Jones did pick up an injury last week, so he's out. Coming in for Brody will be a bench of Tyson Gamble, Jacob Saifiti, Matt Croker, and Jack Hetherington. So that means KP also makes his return with Gamble on the bench, and straight into the 6 goes the skipper. Man, this week's games is so tough. I can see most of these going either way. Form-wise, I should take the Knights, although they did almost pull off the upset of the season against the Panthers. They were pretty ill-disciplined. As for the Cows, they're primed for a win, but at the moment they look out of sorts, especially when it comes to actually putting tries together. Their spine aren't in sync. They are playing at home though, like I said, so that's probably going to be the deciding factor for me. One, they are due for a win, and I'm not going to say getting into desperate territories just yet. And two, they're at home. I'll back them in a close one, 1-12. The first of the Sunday sesh doubleheader, we have the Redcliffe Dolphins hosting the Gold Coast Titans. This being played at Suncorp. Now, the Dolphins, they do welcome back one of their best players from the opening rounds of the season, Felice Kaufusi. He jumps straight back into the back row, and filling in for the suspended Kenny Bromwich is Connolly Lemuelu. They also have Jared Wallace back in the 14 as well. For the Titans, a huge in AJ Brimson. It's not showing where he will play, but he'll most likely jump back into fullback, with Campbell going back to the bench for Cruz Leeming. In the back line, they got some changes there as well. Jojo Fifita back on the wing. Philip Sami moved in to the centres, and falling out of that back five is Aaron Shoop. As for my pick, another tough game. The Dolphins played a near perfect 40 minutes of football last week where they did dictate terms. A somewhat battle of attrition, trying to wear down their opponents. And then you get Marshall King chiming in and out, keeping the middles honest. I can definitely see them doing that to the Titans, but I can also see the Titans hanging in there with them. And they've got a more diverse attack in my opinion, especially with AJ Brimson coming back. I will say I am looking forward to the little battle between Felice Kaufusi and David Fifita. But yeah, my tip, we'll take the Titans and we'll take them 1-12. The last game for Sunday, we have the last placed West Tigers taking on the Manly Warrior Sea Eagles. They will be hosting, and it'll be played at Campbelltown Stadium. This is interesting, man. They're down to their fourth. I've never seen this lad before, so it could be his debut, Jareem Buller. What's even more interesting is that on their bench, they have Dane Laurie and Tommy Talau. It looks like they're going to transition Tommy Talau to play in the back row. That's what they were doing with Asu Kapawa earlier this season, and honestly, it wasn't too bad. Speaking of Kapawa, he keeps his spot in the centres. They got Julian Dubois still on the wing as well, and Charlie Staines moved from fullback to wing. Without sounding like a broken record, they do have a decent team on paper, man, but their think tank is letting them down. Let's be honest. I'm sort of starting to question Tim Sheens and his decision making, I'm not gonna lie. I do hope that Jareem has an awesome game though, but yeah, not too much on the Tigers, eh? On Manly's side of things, they got both Kalma Tuilangi and Raymond Tuaimalo Vainga dropping out. Garrick slots back in for Vainga, and coming in for Tuilangi is Ethan Bullimore, who's an absolute weapon, especially on an edge in my opinion. On the bench they got Samuelu Fainu. That's mad to see. Damn, that's a heavy bench. Sean Kepi, Aaron Woods, and Torfafor Sipley. I didn't even get to Josh Schuster. He's coming back into the six, so this could be a long night for Tigers fans. Surely show some ticker for your home fans and instill pride, especially on Anzac round. I hope for the fans' sake they keep it at a respectable scoreline, but I will take Manly and we will take 13+. And for your Tuesday afternoon, we have an Anzac Day doubleheader. The first being the Sydney Roosters, who are currently 9th. They host the Dragons, who are 13th. Ins and outs. Nice to see Angus Crichton there. He's jumping straight back into the back row. And returning from an ACL injury, Sitili Tuponua. He'll be on the bench. Two massive outs, one being Nat Butcher, and the most surprising, Sam Walker. I mean, is it surprising though? To be honest, he has underperformed, and Robbo gave him 8 rounds to cook something up. What this means is that Joey Manu will be pushed into the 6, and Luke Keary will be moved to the main playmaking role. I actually really dig those changes for the Roosters. For the Dragons, Soot is out, Ben Murdoch-Masila makes his return, Jack Bird moves to the back row, and Jack DeBellin will be starting at lock. As for my pick for this game, I want to take the Roosters here at home to get it done. A cheeky little bounce back, and we'll go on a tight one. The Roosters 1-12. And for the final game of the round, it's the classic Anzac Day clash. The Melbourne Storm host the New Zealand Warriors. Ins and outs, we'll start with the Warriors. It's Marata Niukore making his return. Straight into the back row he goes for Josh Curran. For the Storm, they will be without Tui Kamikamitha, but they welcome back some key ins in Nelson Asafa-Solomona and Nick Meaney at fullback. Now, history will tell you that the Melbourne Storm do have the Warriors number, but judging on this season's form and what the Warriors have shown us in previous matches, I mean, getting wins against the green. And what I mean about that is when the stats are against them, their defense was popping off. They were continuously turning back the Cowboys. One could say that the Cowboys are just trash, but that'll be a disservice to just how good they've been. I mean, the proof is in the pudding for the Warriors. This year, they've shown enough for me to tip them in this Anzac Day clash. It ain't gonna be easy though. The Storm coming off a disappointing performance against the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles last week. It should be a good watch. It should be a competitive match. And I'm going to lean with the Warriors in this and take them 1 to 12 points. So to wrap it up, we are taking the Panthers, the Broncos, the Sharks, the Cowboys, the Titans, Sea Eagles, Roosters, and the Warriors. As per, we'll have our list for Oddskis Bakery as well, which is, if you don't know, anytime try scorers. One for each game. But yeah, it should be a great week of footy. I'm keen to get stuck in. As always, let me know your thoughts and your tips in the comment section down below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you. Later.